Hey friends, how you all doing? Hope you all are doing well. My name is Jesse Hughes, and I'm happy that you have taken out of your schedule, of your time to look at another video that I'm producing, and hopefully that I can say something that will inspire. Hopefully I can say something that will build you all up and edify you all. But before I go any further, if you like what I say today, if you like the content, if you like the food for thought, please like, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up, and I will continuously to give you content. I will continuously to give you something that's beneficial for your body, beneficial for your mind, beneficial for your spirit. But I'm sitting here thinking about thinking about things that we go through in life, thinking about the situations in Ukraine, thinking about the things over here in America, thinking about a lot of things that we go through in life general. And I'm appreciative of the fact that God has placed good people in my life. God has placed people in my life that has fed me spiritually, has fed me naturally, that has been a support for me. And I'm appreciative of that. And hopefully I can say something that will be a support to you, that will be food for your thoughts, and be not only food for your thoughts, be content that will inspire you to go on. I'm sitting here thinking about life. I'm thinking about the things that we go through. A lot of times we go through a lot of different situations, a lot of difficult situations and times. If we lose a loved one, if we're sick, if we going through a financial crisis, if we're going through a bad marriage, a bad divorce, a lot of these things weigh on our mind. A lot of these things weigh up on our souls and our spirits. And I'm happy and appreciative of the fact that even though some of those things I hadn't faced yet, I hadn't faced, any major sicknesses, thank God. I haven't faced such a financial crisis that would cause me to do crazy things. But I'm thankful and appreciative of the people that God has placed in my life. God has placed my kids in my life. God has placed the people that are closely connected to my kids, and I love all of them with all my heart. But I'm sitting here thinking about what we go through, thinking about times when we have to, shake our heads, sit back and regroup. Sometimes we have to sit back and even cry, even sigh, even say, God, you got to help me out of what I'm going through. And I grew up in church. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, a holiness church. And we was always taught, if you saved, that you're not going to go through anything, for the way of the transgressor is hard. Let you know that, if you're saved, you're not going to experience bad things. You're not going to experience things that, it's too much for you. But, I beg to differ with you. A lot of times that we go through things, and it all is not about being saved. It's not about being, so to speak, a son of God or a daughter of God. But it's about life. For life will throw challenges at you. Life will throw situations at you that has nothing to do with salvation. A lot of times people think, well, so when you get in church, when you get saved, that you're not going to have to go through this. You're not going to have to go through that. You're not going to have to experience such hardness and such pain and such turmoil. But that is not the truth. When you go through a lot of bad situations, when you go through a lot of difficult situations, it has nothing to do with salvation, but it has to do with life. For the Bible says in John, the 16th chapter and the 33rd verse, he said, in this world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. It lets you know that even though you're going through certain situations in life, even though you're going through certain problems in life, even though you're going through certain tribulations and trials, that you have a sure foundation. You have an anchor for your soul, and that anchor is Jesus Christ. It's a bad situation when you're going through that and you don't have God. But when you have God, and when you're going through your problem and situation, it makes it a little lighter. It makes it a little easier for you to go through certain situations, because you know that in the end that you shall win. In the end, you shall be victorious. For trouble don't last always. Sometimes we might have to cry. Sometimes we might have to sigh. Sometimes we might have to sit back and shake our hands and say, God, you got to help me through this and help me through that. But even in the midst of going back and shaking our heads, even in the midst of crying, in the midst of sighing, in the midst of saying, God, I can't go through this. I can't handle another loss of a loved one. I can't handle going through another bad marriage, a bad divorce. God, I can't handle, being without my kids. God, I can't handle going without a lot of different situations in your life. But when you step back and regroup and say, God, even in the midst of going through these situations and these problems, God, I know you're going to bring bring me through this, because I know that, God, you said in your word, God, you said the trouble don't last always. You said in your word that, God, if I just step back and hold on and fight the good fight of faith, that in the end I'm going to win. For the Bible said, blessed is the man that endured temptation. For when he has endured this temptation, he shall receive a crown of life. It lets you know that even in the midst of your going through, in the midst of your problems and your pains and your circumstances, God will bring you through all of that you're going through. You might have to sit back sometime and say, God, I need your help. You might have to come back and say, God, I need you to pull me through this, God, because I don't know that where will I go if I don't have you in my life. But that was so good about it. When you're going through your problem, when you're going through your circumstances, you got to sometimes step back and regroup and say, God, even in the midst of what I'm going through, God, you're going to bring me through it, because you're my God. You're my dad. You're the one that stepped out and you was able to create things and said, peace, be still, and the waves and the winds begin to be still. But you've got to get back in your life and say, God, even in the midst of what I'm going through, God, you're going to bring me through it. It might be hard right now, God. It might be troublesome right now, God, but you're going to bring me through it, because you are my dad. You are my father. So we should never get to the point where we say, well, God, if I'm saved, I'm not supposed to go through that. But you shall go through tribulation. You shall go through trials. You shall go through a lot of different pains and pleasures of life. But you've got to understand, but it's just a test to bring you through it, just a test to bring you out of all of the situation that you're going through. But you've got to have that mind. You've got to have the mind to say, even in the midst of what I'm going through, God, I know you're going to bring me through it. I might be crying right now, God, but you're going to wipe away my tears. I might be sighing right now, God, but you shall wipe away my tears. So never get to the point where, since you're saved, since you're a Christian, since you're believing in God, you're not supposed to go through certain things. But you shall go through it, but God shall also bring you out of the situation. But you've got to hold on and let everybody know that even in the midst of me going through it, God is going to bring me through it, because He is my daddy. He is my Abba Father. He's the one that's going to build me up even in the times when I seem to be torn down. He's the one that will be there for me. He's there to be my rock. He's there to be my strength and my shoulder to lean on. So if I said something today, if I say nothing else in life, I want to let you know that regardless of what you're going through in life, you might have to cry, you might have to sigh, but God will bring you through all of the things that you're going through. But you've got to hold on to God. You've got to hold on to His unchanging hand, and He will bring you through it this time, and He will bring you through all the different times. But you've got to hold on and know that God will be your daddy. He will be your comforter. He will be your strength. So until this time next time, I want you all to like, I want you all to subscribe, I want you all to give me a thumbs up and say, Jesse, I enjoyed you. Even in the midst of what I'm going through, God is going to bring me through it. So until this time next time, I want to tell you, God bless you, and God bless you.